The world of golf is bowing down to its new queen, Lydia Ko. For the very first time since 2017, the New Zealander has come back to the top of the world rankings following a golden 2022 season that came to a head last week in Naples, Florida, when she took it all. Stick around to find out everything we know about this young golfer. She's always been a champ. How? Because she won the CME Group Tour Championship, which was the last seasonal tournament of the LPGA Tour, and that's not all. The 25-year-old South Korean, who'd been born in Seoul, was nominated as Rolex Player of the Year as the best sportswoman on the top American women's circuit, as well as receiving the Vare Trophy again for the second year in a row for the best scoring average of 68.988. And if that isn't enough, Ko also went on to win the FedEx Cup in pink in the race to CME Globe. With the New Zealand pro dethroning American Nelly Korda, Ko became the youngest player to reach the top of the world standings for the first time in February 2015 at the age of 17 years. Then, from October that year to June 2017, she was number 1 for 85 whole weeks. And finally, she is now once again at the top of the world rankings after a 5-year hiatus. Now, onto what she's been saying. In previous interviews, she says that she's definitely pleased and proud of herself. None of this would have been possible without the help of her family and team, and all her gratitude goes toward them. Safe to say, she's satisfied. Now, just to recap, Lydia Ko is a South Korean-born New Zealand golfer. She was the youngest golfer, male or female, to attain the top of the world rankings on February 2nd, 2015 at the age of just 17 years old. She then became the youngest ever female champion of a major competition when she won the Evian Championship on September 13th, 2015 at 18 years old. In her entire career that began from a young age, she flaunts 14 titles on the LPGA Tour, 2 majors, a silver medal in the individual during the 2016 Rio de Janeiro Olympic Games, as well as a bronze, once more in the individual at the Tokyo 2020 Games. After being born in Seoul, South Korea, the young golfer moved to New Zealand with her family in the early 2000s. That's when she gained citizenship for the country at the age of 12. She went to Mirangi Bay Primary School and then Pinehurst School in Albany. She has been pursuing a future in psychology via an online distance learning degree course at Korea University in Seoul since 2015. But her love for golf goes way back. She first fell in love with the game of golf at just 5 years old when her aunt In-suk Hyun decided to give her a golf club, with which she started to play more and more often. Next up, how her mother teased her about retirement. Lydia Ko's mother made a joke last year that she might retire if her daughter returned to the top 3 of the women's golf world rankings, a place the New Zealander hadn't held in over 5 years. Considering what transpired next, it's safe to conclude Ko was desperate to get her mom to step down from work because as 2022 came to an end, she is climbing straight to the top. We already know she won the Bainbridge LPGA and the BMW Ladies Championship before introducing her 19th LPGA title at the season-ending Group Tour Championship with 14 top 10 finishes with just 22 LPGA Tour starts. Her whole family might as well retire because her victory in Naples earned her a $2 million winner's check, the highest in LPGA history. In addition to regaining number 1 place in the world, Ko was named the LPGA's Player of the Year and the Tour's money winner, with $4,364,403 in the season's earnings. It was a repeat of her double swoop in 2015 when she ruled the Tour with 5 wins and a huge victory at the Evian Championship as a teenager. Ko is relieved that her mother didn't carry through on her retirement gamble, which could have served as an example of a very fruitful, tough love strategy. Even so, after clinching the victory, Ko thanked her mom for keeping her grounded. Ko said she knows that her mom could be one of her toughest critics, but at the same time, she understands that she says those things because she wants Ko to just keep on growing and that her mother keeps her really humble. Ko thinks she could say thank you to her mom more often, but she doesn't always express that. It's easier to say when she's not around, but she owes her mom gratitude because she is Ko's biggest supporter. Now her love for the game keeps growing. Despite her prowess on the greens, Ko attributes much of her excellent performance to factors off the course. More breaks and holidays, ironically, have helped to spark more centered quality practice, cementing a perfectly calibrated work-life balance. In interviews, Ko officially revealed her engagement to Chung Jun, the son of an influential Korean businessman, in August. Ko rekindled her love for golf after falling in love with her fiancé. A weepy Ko was hugged by her husband-to-be after rolling in her putt to guarantee a 2-stroke victory over Leona Maguire at the Group Tour Championship. It was the first time Chung was seeing his future wife win in person, and it would be followed by yet another emotional triumph in 2022. After an infuriating string of near misses on tour, the South Korean-born Kiwi won the BMW Ladies Championship in South Korea in October, marking her first victory in her native land. It had been more than 2 years since her father had last witnessed her compete, and after storming to a commanding 4-shot lead at Oak Valley Country Club, tears flooded up in Ko's eyes before she was quickly doused in champagne. If next year is anything like 2022, Ko will be getting a lot more champagne poured over her. Next up, other youngest golfers to be number 1. Lydia Ko made a splash at the 2015 Coates Golf Championship and became the youngest golfer to ever hold the number 1 spot, either the official World Golf Ranking or the Rolex ranking, at the age of 17. That got us thinking about who the youngest players have ever been to grab number 1 in both rankings, going all the way back to 1986 for the official World Golf Ranking and back to 2006 for the Rolex rankings. The official World Golf Ranking began in April 1986. When Bernard Langer debuted at number 1, Tiger Woods had since become the world's youngest best-ranked golfer, doing so at the age of 21 years, just 2 months after gaining his first major title at the 1997 Masters. Next, we have Jordan Spieth, who is the world's second youngest golfer to climb to the top of the official world rankings. At the age of 22 years, he became the world's top-ranked player on August 25, 2015. Then there's Rory McIlroy, who is the world's third youngest number 1 player. At 22 years old, he moved up to the number 1 spot on March 4, 2012. If we talk about the Rolex ranking side, of course our very own Lydia Ko is the world's youngest and best player. But just before her, Jia Shin was the youngest number 1 in the ranking's brief history when she ended up taking over the top spot on May 3, 2010. What are some other records? Now, who spent the most time at the top spot? Even as the number 1 spot kept switching among players in the past, Greg Norman went to number 1 11 different times, as well as Tiger Woods, who also made it 11 times. Then we have Rory McIlroy, who made it 9 times, Dustin Johnson 7 times, and Seve Ballesteros and Justin Rose 5 times. After that, there's Nick Faldo, Luke Donald, Jordan Spieth, Brooks Koepka, and John Rahm, who made it to the top 4 times. Then lastly, Ernie Els, Vijay Singh, and Jason Day made it 3 times each. So who's the oldest golfer to rank in the top spot? Vijay Singh was 41 years old when he was named world champion for the first time on September 5, 2004. And he was 42 years when he was moved from the number 1 place on June 11, 2005. But Tiger Woods did especially well throughout his career. Tiger Woods even holds the record for the most ever average points total once he reached 32.44 points on June 3, 2001. This was shortly before the 2001 US Open, and he became the first player in history to hold all 4 professional major championships at the same time. This is famously known as the Tiger Slam. Tiger Woods had previously established the largest ever lead in the rankings on May 20, 2001, when his 32.33 average points were 19.40 points in front of the current world number 2 Phil Mickelson's 12.93 average points. So who are your favorite young golf champions? Let us know in the comments below. That's all for today. Please like, subscribe, and comment for more videos like this.